Tanner, is this a situation that McLaren should be worried about, and does this further solidify Piastri's status as the preferred driver?
If him winning 5 of the first 9 races didn't establish it, I felt like this moment was very indicative of the final nail being stabbed into the coffin for Lando Norris's title chances and being the number 1 driver this year at McLaren. He just does not have the temperament or the, I really don't want to say skill, but racecraft, I think would probably be more appropriate. You got 4 laps to go. I don't know why you're trying to force it into the wall when you have better tires than your teammate, when you're racing your teammate, and when, you're battling with him. So it's going to take him out of DRS range of Antonelli. So eventually Oscar is going to be a sitting duck anyway. It just showed me everything about Lando Norris that I dislike, and I just felt like it was a huge lapse in judgment at literally every possible phase for all the reasons I just laid out. I just feel like Lando Norris needs some more seasoning to become a championship caliber driver, and he's had plenty of seasoning thus far in his F1 career. And I feel like at this point, Oscar Piastri is practically a thoroughbred, and he's ready to go win a World Drivers' Championship right now. And the fact that even though this contact happened, it didn't affect Piastri's finish pretty much solidifies the fact that, he kind of stays calm under pressure, whereas it seems like some drivers like Lando tend to melt under pressure. So I definitely would look forward to Zach Brown kind of laying down the law with Lando for the rest of the season. Obviously, last year when Piastri, had to give up some spots, he more than obliged for it. So I wouldn't really be surprised to see papaya rules get called a lot less this year throughout the rest of the season. But there's still plenty of races left to go. So Lando may not be completely out of this yet, but if it were me running the McLaren team, I would probably put Oscar at P1 and tell Lando that, if you can help him, you should do it.
I have to agree with you. I think this is going to be more working in the favor of Oscar Piastri going forward. Oscar Piastri knows he has one of the best cars on the grid, one of the fastest cars on the grid. He just got to go out there, do what he needs to do. He has gotten plenty of poles. It's a very long season. Don't lose focus. For Lando Norris, I feel like he is that driver that is, or as you said, missing that step, maybe that racecraft. I know a lot of people, when he was brand new, said he wasn't taking things seriously enough, that he was too much making jokes, seemed to be like a little bit immature. I feel he has got to the sense where we're not hearing that no more, but there's just something missing where I just feel like it maybe is that racecraft you said. He just one step behind, and he could drive a car very well. He could drive it very fast. It's these tight battles. I mean, at the end of the day, he made that mistake with such a move that I feel he realized what he did, because post-race, he went up there, apologized to Piastri, and he seemed like they're able to at least move on. So I'm really curious to see how this is all going to play out. But the big thing I think for Lando Norris is he cannot make a mistake like that. For Lando Norris, if he has any shot, he needs Oscar Piastri to have a mistake, in my opinion.
Of course, Oscar was cool with it. Nothing happened to him. He was fine.
Yeah, but can you guys imagine if Norris had taken both him and Piastri out of the race? I have a feeling if that would have happened, Oscar Piastri probably wouldn't have been so, friendly about, we'll move on from this if the two end up colliding, and then both cars out of the point. So, yeah, so Oscar seems to be cool with that in Denver. So you think Lando is mentally weak against Oscar at the moment. I do think that is a fair point as well, because it seemed like Lando is a bit behind on the mental battle when it comes to racing as well. Yeah, yesterday he talked about the mistakes he made behind the wheel. Feel like he could have been closer to Oscar in qualifying, but just wasn't the case. And Lando keeps putting all this pressure on himself and making silly errors like he did today. Is just gonna start to slip away, and Oscar Piastri gonna continue to pull away, and Lando's gonna be down in the number 2 range. at the McLaren F1 team. So hopefully, he'll learn from this so it doesn't happen again, because when he tried to make the move off to the left there in the main straight, I have no idea where he thought he was going. There was literally grass and then the wall. Yeah, I guess he went for a gap, and they thought the gap was there, but unfortunately it wasn't. So it could have been a much worse situation for McLaren. But thankfully, at least Oscar got the finish he deserved, and Lando moves on to the next round.